for Donald Trump.
George, those numbers in our new poll are just another indication of how unusual this race is. You have Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, both the clear frontrunners for their party's nominations, and viewed unfavorably by a clear majority of voters. And George, this is before all of those television attack ads that you know will come before too long.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. Let's get to Donald Trump right now, still holding pretty commanding lead in the Republican polls, national polls, and Iowa. Mr. Trump, thanks for joining us this morning. Boy, you heard Jeb Bush yesterday. You're not a conservative. You're more Democrat than Republican. This is all personal. Is he drawing blood?
Well, I think he had really no choice. He's doing very poorly in the polls. He's a very low-energy kind of guy, and he had to do something. So they're spending a lot of money on ads. And, you know, he has a lot of money from the hedge fund guys, from the special interests, from lobbyists. He raised over $100 million, so they control him totally. So he really had no choice, I think, George. He had to go out with an ad. He did a very expensive ad. And, you know, let's see what happens. So far, everybody that's attacked me has gone down. So, let's see what happens here.
He also shows you praising Hillary Clinton in the video. Bottom line, who'd be the better president, Jeb Bush or Hillary Clinton?
Well, I go with the Republican. Hillary was absolutely a horrendous Secretary of State, probably the worst ever. And I would have to go really with the Republican. You know, I was obviously very friendly. I was a major business person. You've seen that. And I really was very friendly with all politicians. If I'm in New York, I was friendly with politicians throughout the United States. I was friendly. That was my obligation. That was my job to do. They termed me a world-class businessman, and that's what I was. So I had to get along with everybody. So I got along with the Clintons. I got along with everybody, and it was important to do so. But now, you know, you look at Jeb and you see what he's doing, and it's sort of an interesting thing. And I think he had probably no choice. It's probably going to now stop because it seems to be backfiring. And based on the polls, it seems to be somewhat backfiring on Jeb.
So in the video, it also says shows you answering a question saying you have no idea why you're a Republican. So how would you answer that today? Why are you a Republican?
Well, that was at a time when the Republicans were not doing well, and frankly, they had some ideas that were different from my ideas, and a lot of people felt that way, and many Republicans were saying, we have no idea why we're a Republican. The Republicans were not doing well.
But right now, you say you are a Republican. You are going to go with the Republican nominee. We just heard you say that about Jeb Bush. What about Ben Carson? One poll right now in Iowa. Others have you ahead still comfortably. Mexico.
You have to understand, I don't want to prohibit companies. I want companies to create jobs here. We need jobs in the United States, George. We don't need jobs in Mexico. We don't need jobs in China. China's eating our lunch. Mexico's eating our lunch. We need jobs here. We need plants built right here in the United States. We don't need them built in Mexico. We don't need them built in China. That doesn't help us, despite what some people will try and tell you that it does. Believe me, it doesn't. I'm going to have jobs in the United States. I'm going to win the Hispanic vote because I'm going to create jobs. And I've already, if you look at polls with Hispanics, I'm winning in many polls with Hispanics, which some people are surprised at. I'm not surprised.
But yes or no, will you dissociate from any companies of yours or partnerships of yours that do business in China and Mexico?
No, I wouldn't have to do that. I want to do business with China and Mexico. I'm a free trader. The problem with free trade is you have to have smart leaders on your side. We do not have smart leaders. We do not have good negotiators. Everything we negotiate is bad, including the Iran deal. That deal is one of the worst negotiated transactions I've ever witnessed in my entire life. It's negotiated by people that are either stupid, incompetent, there's something wrong with them. It's a deal that's absolutely insane. So we have bad negotiators on that. We have bad negotiators on trade. If I win, we're going to turn it around. We're going to bring jobs back to this country. We're going to have a lot of victory instead of always losing.
Always opinionated Donald Trump. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Indeed. Turning now, though, George, to